For LinkedIn, she chooses verticals of my followers to check what kind of background they come from. Moving on to Google Plus, she chooses content that's working best. So from here, she can make out that links, images, and text are working really well. Maybe she could experiment a bit with videos as well. Now moving on to Instagram, she chooses brand performance to check how her brand is doing on Instagram. Now then she gives this report a title. So let's say Zilker Travels Cafe Report number 1. And goes ahead and clicks on save. We also have scheduled reports where you can send the reports that you have customized to your team members either daily, weekly, or monthly. So let me just choose monthly, and I set the time as 9:15 a.m. and I save it. You can also change the file types to either PNG or PDF. And if you'd like to edit, you can do that as well. Add more members or send a private message as well and click on schedule. Or if you'd like to delete this scheduled report altogether, you can do that as well. Oh, and by the way, you can create unlimited reports with Zoho Social. So that's about it for reports. Let's briefly go over how you can set up your brands in Zoho Social. So you go to Setup and click on Brand Settings. Now before we go over the settings, I'd like to mention this. If you want to add more brands to your portal, you can click on this drop down and click on Add Another Brand. And if you've already added brands, you can very easily switch from one brand to another from here, like this. And if you have multiple pages and profiles per social network, you will have to create additional brands and connect each page or profile to that brand. Now in Zoho Social, you can also have multiple team members managing different brands. Now let's start with brand information. Simply put, it consists of information about your brand. You can select which link shortener you would want to make a default one. Moving on to social networks. You can view all the social networks your brand is connected to. You can also disconnect a social network anytime you'd like. Going to roles and permissions. You can create new roles for your brand and assign permissions to those roles. For example, all brand admins and users will have all these permissions by default. However, for the other roles, you can choose what they can have access to. Moving on to brand members. Now in Zoho Social, like I mentioned, you can have multiple team members managing different brands. Now as the portal admin, you can invite users, assign roles to them, and you can manage users and settings of all the brands, whereas brand admins can manage users and settings only for that particular brand. Yeah, so this is how you can change roles and assign the social networks that they can manage. And if you'd like to remove them from this particular brand, you can do that as well by clicking on the cross icon over here. Now moving on to notifications. There are 4 types of actions that users can receive email notifications for. That is when a scheduled post goes live on social networks, when a scheduled post fails to go live, when a social network gets disconnected from Zoho Social, and when someone mentions them in a comment or a discussion. And you can also receive notifications from these social networks for these social actions. Now in this tab, All Members, you will be able to see a list of everybody who is part of this portal. And if you'd like to add a particular team member to